All right. Welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Scoreboard. Happy Thanksgiving from
Yeah.
us here. We just got back from Thanksgiving dinner. I'm your host, Mason Lee, joined by my brother Noah. And man, it was kind of a sleeper week for college football, which is it's been a busy week for me. So hence the delay on the episode here, but
Yeah.
we've got the biggest week of the season coming up. So
Best
you
week in
know,
all of sports.
we had to get an episode out before it. But just a couple games we want to recap from last week. First off, a big 10 game, Oregon and USC. And to be honest with you, Oregon kind of ran away with it the whole time.
Yeah.
I
Um,
expected USC to put up a lot more of a fight, and they just didn't.
no, I honestly think USC's been a whole bunch of fakes this whole time. Lincoln Riley's team's defenses are never legit. I mean, Oregon's offense is nothing crazy, and they still let them just put up 40 points just like that.
Yeah.
Uh, I was watching the game. Neither team looked great. It's just USC, their playoff hopes are shattered now. And your season's over, pal. But Oregon, I mean, it was a good win. Yeah.
Yeah. Season's definitely over for USC. Another one which I believe their season's been over for a while now, but Bo Pribula came back this week and put up an absolute stinker against Oklahoma. I mean, I don't really know what we expected, to be honest, but
I think Oklahoma is one of the best teams in the country right now, and
they're
I
off.
think I think because Missouri's one of those teams that just snowballed this year, like Louisville
Yeah,
snowballed.
yeah,
Yeah, like a couple of teams this year just snowballed, and I think
mhm,
Missouri's one of them, where one thing goes bad and the rest of the season just goes downhill.
yeah,
Which I mean, it's not a bad year, but like it just could have been much. Like I think if Bo Pearley never got hurt, it would have been much better.
yeah. I mean, you go 3-4 in the conference, and Missouri's not a bad football team by any means. But
No,
you go 3-4 in the conference, that's really, I mean, that's not a great season. But despite that, Drinkwitz agrees to a 6-year deal with Missouri for an extension, paying
yeah,
him ten point
he's
seven five mil a year. So,
he's a
and
good
that
coach. So.
that's today actually. That's current news.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, I'm looking at it too.
um,
He's a
which
good
I
coach.
mean, he's not a bad coach. I think he belongs there.
Yeah,
Honestly, I think that's a really good fit for him, and I
yeah.
don't see an issue with that extension. At least not for them. I don't know if he's ever going to get them to that top threshold. I don't think he's quite that kind of coach, but I don't think Missouri's quite that kind of program either. So
The 2023 season was probably about as close as they're gonna get. That
yeah,
2023 team with Brady Cook and that one running back who'd
they were
been in
solid,
college for
dude.
like 7 years.
Hmm.
Yeah, they were good. And Luther Burden was still that team was good.
Yeah,
But I say that's probably the best they're gonna get to be
yeah.
honest. But yeah.
And then
Another good win for Oklahoma.
yeah, and then the only other game I wanted to recap from last week, I saw an absolute stinker performance live. The Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, man, still love you. I've been a fan for a long time, but man, it looked like the team showed up drunk in the first quarter. And
Yeah.
I think this shows you just how reliant Georgia Tech is on Haynes King because he starts off the game not great. He ended up having a decent game towards the end of it, but he started off the game not very well. And who was there to pick up the pieces?
Nobody.
No one. The
Yeah, I
defense couldn't
mean,
get a stop. No one on the offense could either catch the ball, break away a run, make a block. It was one of the worst single quarters of football I've ever seen. It was ugly.
well, it was just Haynes King decided to play his worst game of football on his senior night, and that sucks. Because I know that hurts. Because unless you beat Georgia this week, or some funky stuff happens in the ACC that we're gonna get into in a minute,
Yeah.
you're you're done, right? So,
Yeah. I believe if I'm giving my honest opinion on the Yellow Jackets, I believe you are Pop Tart Bowl bound, which is A phenomenal season. As a Tech fan, I've only seen a 10-win season once, I think, maybe twice. And I'm still very pleased overall with the season. And you're riding into that 8-0 and you dropped the ball, man. And you controlled your own destiny into the playoffs. And for me as a fan, it reminded me a lot of 2022 Tennessee, where you're sitting there, end of the season, you got one loss to Georgia. All you got to do is beat South Carolina and you're in, and you drop the ball. Felt very simple.
Yeah.
But, it's part of it. You're going to have those games. And I've said all year, I didn't think Pitt was a bad football team. I know they didn't play well against Notre Dame, but I didn't think they were a bad team. And they showed up. They really did, because that is the single best environment I have ever felt at Georgia Tech. That was the most electric it has ever been. But wasn't enough to get it done. But I'm hoping this kind of season is what they can ride as momentum going forward to hopefully continue to build the program.
Yeah.
But all in all, could have been a lot better. Definitely made a lot of mistakes in the first quarter. And they almost fought back into it too. I forgot to add, they got within one score and then let up a 65.
Yeah, I was watching the game.
Yeah,
Georgia Tech 100% could have been 11-0 going into this week. It was just, it happens.
wasn't in the cards, and that's part of it. That's part of the game, and that's why you play every game. Yeah. So, but that being said, let's go ahead and crack into the poll here. Go ahead and jump over to the CFP poll, which your top 5 remains unchanged once again. And then you're pretty much your top 11. Honestly, your top 14 doesn't really change all that much. You get a flip-flop between Oregon and Ole Miss. They reward Oregon for the ranked win. That's fine. I think Ole Miss has a better strength of schedule and a better record. Like, their record means more, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think Ole Miss should have stayed at 6, to be honest.
Yeah, but they're rewarding the recency of the ranked win, which is, that's fine, I guess. And then Miami flipping with Utah, I don't really get that.
Utah played horrible against a bad Kansas State team. That's why. They really should have lost the game. So
yeah, I did see that, but they won. So yeah. I don't know. It's fine, I guess.
Yeah.
Then Vandy stays at the same spot. Michigan jumps 3 for beating Maryland. I don't really get that.
Okay, they'll be a lot further back than 15 after Saturday.
Do you think Ryan Day gets his first win against Michigan as head coach?
That is not his first win as Michigan.
As head coach, I think it is.
No, 2019.
They just won 4 in a row.
2019.
Yeah, so Michigan's won 4 in a row.
Yeah, but Ryan Day's beat them before. It's just been a long time.
Either way, he's won a national championship more recently than he beat Michigan, which is kind of crazy. But nonetheless, I don't really get why they jumped 3 for beating Maryland, but whatever. Texas goes up 1, and I think that's mostly just to drop USC back because of the loss.
Yeah.
Whatever. Virginia goes up 1, Tennessee up 1. This I don't get. Why did Arizona State jump 5?
I honestly don't know. I think they just had to put someone
Colorado.
They had to put someone at 20, so they just put them at 20.
I guess. And then you've got your top 3 teams in the ACC, conference standing-wise, at 21, 22, and 23, which is ironic. Well, no, Virginia's at the top of the conference, but it's ironic because Miami is actually 5th in conference standing behind all the teams behind them.
Yo, I think you've mentioned this on the podcast for a month straight.
Because it irritates me. I don't.
They're not just going to knock Miami. they're not just gonna knock Miami back just because they're not far in the conference standings.
I don't know. I would argue their 2 conference losses are just as bad as Tech's.
No way. Their 2 conference losses are to SMU and Louisville.
Mm-hmm.
NC State is one of the worst teams in the ACC, brother.
They're the most inconsistent team in the ACC.
No, they're one of the worst teams in the ACC.
Whatever. I mean, you see where the committee values SMU and Pittsburgh the same almost. So, I don't know.
Yeah, but Pitt was, and then SMU is on the rise. Their best football. So,
whatever. Tech gets dropped 7. Put up a stinker on senior night. That is what it is. I mean, and still no James Madison.
I hate this.
Tulane sticking at the same, and Arizona getting in at 25.
This sucks. Where is James Madison?
I genuinely I don't understand. I don't know what the committee has against them. I got nothing, dude. I don't know what they're doing. Genuinely, I don't know what they're seeing. Because if you look at the AP poll here, and normally I'm an AP poll hater. I don't love the AP poll. But you got James Madison, North Texas, and Tulane. But you got Tulane behind North Texas and James Madison, which is probably correct.
Mm-hmm.
But neither of those teams is over here in the poll that actually matters. So I don't know, man. I don't get it. But it's okay because there's going to be a lot of poll movement this week because do we have the single best slate of games in the sport? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Starting off strong, Egg Bowl tomorrow at noon. And unfortunately, I don't think Mississippi State does anything here. I mean, they're on the cusp of bowl eligibility, but that game being at noon is not going to do them any favors. And I think the Rebels take care of business. And this is probably Lane Kiffin's last game as the Ole Miss head coach, in my opinion.
No.
I'm hearing Lane Kiffin's LSU bound. He's going to Baton Rouge.
It's just going to happen. Mississippi State is going to cover. Ole Miss will win, but Mississippi State is going to cover because this game is always close. This game, I don't think this game has been a larger margin than 2 scores in 2 decades. I'll be honest. And I think Lane Kiffin will leave Ole Miss, but he's got to finish the season, right?
No, I don't know if you saw the Ole Miss AD was like, if he doesn't make a decision, he's gone. Like, they don't want him to wait until the conference title or like conference title week to make the decision is what I saw. They want him to make the decision Saturday after the Egg Bowl.
Well, that's dumb because if he ends up leaving, Ole Miss season is chopped.
Yeah, I mean that puts them in a really interesting spot going into the CFP because I mean they're a shoo-in. They're not going to make it. Yeah,
Lane Kiffin is going to be a key part to that team, and I think the team will not be as motivated to go play anymore if he leaves.
Yeah.
So it's whatever though.
Tickets low is $6 for Kansas Utah. I don't think that one's really all that important. Kansas has another Kansas style season here.
Yeah.
I think Utah wins this, and I think they probably cover too. I'm not very fond of Kansas. I don't think they're very good.
No. I think Kansas covers, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, Utah has just been playing close with bad teams.
Utah has been playing close with bad teams.
As much as I love Devin Dampier, they've just been playing close with teams they should not be playing close with the entire season, which is fine because they play close with the good teams too. Like it's like, I mean, it's besides Texas Tech, which nobody played close to Texas Tech this year besides Arizona State.
Right.
But you get the point. So I think Kansas covers here, but I think Utah skins for the win.
Yeah. I mean, I still think Utah wins regardless. Cover, not cover, I don't think it's really all that important. Utah is also probably Pop-Tart Bowl bound. Because they're not going to make the playoffs. They
They
need to have a
could
lot.
they could sneak in.
They need to have a lot in front of them happen. Speaking of teams that would need a lot in front of them to happen, the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets technically are not out of it. Technically. And we talked about this earlier today at dinner, but I think if Tech finds a way to win this game, you're looking at a potential at-large bid. Because, yes, I know you've got a couple rough losses, but if you manage to take down a top 4 team in the country, that says something about your team as a program. It's really, really rare that we see somebody that far back upset somebody that high up. Doesn't happen often.
You're gonna need Alabama. Alabama has to lose. BYU has to lose, which is not gonna happen because they're playing UCF.
Yeah.
Miami would need to lose. And I'd say if those 3 teams lose and you win, which is highly unlikely, then you get in.
Yeah. And there's another way in, too, that's probably just as unlikely that we'll talk about later when we get into conference standings and whatnot.
Yeah.
But because the ACC is a mess right now.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, we'll get into that. Do you want to – I mean, I think we know each other's opinion on this game.
Georgia covers. I think they win 44-28.
I said it earlier today, the only reason I think Georgia would not cover is because there is not a soul on this planet that hates the University of Georgia more than Brent Key. And I think he's going to have his boys ready to play. Do I think they win? No. Do I think it's competitive? Yes. I don't think we're going to see an 8 overtime thriller like we did last year, which was, I would say, one of the best games. That was probably the best game we've ever been to.
Oh, yeah.
But I think it's a little bit closer than 13.5. I think maybe Georgia wins by a touchdown. And I think Georgia Tech is competitive with it. But I still think Georgia does get the win, unfortunately.
Indiana covers.
Yeah, next game.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't need. We don't got to spend a lot of time.
Yeah.
This one, 7:30 tomorrow night. We are Marcel Reed believers.
Oh, yeah.
At Beyond the Scoreboard here.
Marcel Reed is a dog.
Reed.
Marcel Reed's a dog.
I don't think Texas is all that. I don't care that it's at Texas. I still don't like them, Arch Manning. Give me the Aggies, and I think they cover. I think they win by a field goal, probably. Maybe even a touchdown.
Give me the Aggies to cover. I think they win by 10. Wow. 34-24 final score. Texas A&M wins.
Yeah. I mean, I've been a Texas hater all year. You've also been a Texas hater all year. I don't believe in Texas. I don't believe in what they've got this season. I think maybe if Arch comes back for another year, they might have something really going.
He's got to. He doesn't have enough slack under his belt to go to the NFL and get drafted.
I'll tell you what he's got. He's got his last name, and that's
great. Just because he's got a cool last name doesn't mean that he's going to get drafted high. I mean, you saw Shedeur Sanders fall to the 4th round last year, or 5th.
That's so different.
How?
Shedeur Sanders was a bum. Arch Manning's a bum, but Arch Manning's a bum of 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks.
Shedeur Sanders is a better college quarterback than Arch Manning is playing right now. 100%. 110%. Did you see the numbers Shedeur was putting up last year?
You see who he's playing?
That's great. Arch Manning sucks.
Yeah, listen, you got to think Shedeur Sanders' competition, not great, didn't end up with a great record, and on his team, he did have
8-4 is not a bad season, boss. Or 9-3. They went 9-3 in the regular season. That's not a bad season, boss.
Dude, you got to think, man. He's throwing to one of the best athletes we've ever seen. As an athlete, one of the best athletes we've ever seen.
Oh, so that just gives him a pass. Arch Manning's throwing to Ryan Wingo. Does that give him a pass?
I don't know, man. I don't know if Shador is a better college quarterback than Arch Manning, but I don't think either one of them's that great. So regardless, it doesn't really matter. But like I said, I think A&M wins this game. I think they cover. The fact that it's in Austin does not scare me. I'm not big on Texas.
Marcel Reed performs well under pressure. I don't think it's gonna.
He shows up. I think you probably do see another not quite as bad as South Carolina scenario. I don't think they go down 27, but I do think they probably come from behind and win this game by 10. And then you got Arizona State as the cap of the night. Did they rank Arizona just to make this a ranked matchup? I don't.
Probably, to be honest.
I don't get it.
I like Arizona in this one, though, because Arizona State's entire team is injured. I don't know if Jordan Tyson is playing, to be honest.
Yeah.
But Jeff Sims at quarterback is not promising for me for Arizona
Give
State.
me Georgia Tech legend Jeff Sims to throw an interception tomorrow night.
Okay, yeah, I like that. Give me Arizona. I think it's a high scoring game though, like a really high scoring game. Like I'm talking like
yeah. I don't think there's a lot of defense going on there.
Both teams in low 50s to high 40s.
Yeah.
But give me Arizona.
All right. And then Saturday. Starting it off very strong. Probably the most heated rivalry in college football.
Yeah.
A lot of people would argue it's the best. At least at the bare minimum, top two. You got the game at noon. And we already heard Noah's opinion on it earlier. I think Ryan Day gets another win and breaks the Michigan win streak. I think Julian Saban's a great quarterback. I really do. I think he just looks good in the pocket. I think he performs well as a quarterback. Do I think he's got an elite team around him? Yes. But that being said, I think Ohio State finally breaks the streak. I think they do get the win. Do I think they cover 9.5? No.
I do.
I don't, just because I know we know what this game is. We know what this game means to both teams, and it's at Michigan too. So no, I don't think they cover 9.5, but I do think Ohio State gets the win.
I think Ohio State wins. I think Ohio State is the best team in the country until they prove me wrong. No one can stop them right now, and it's definitely not gonna be Michigan with their bummy quarterback who only put up 23 points against Northwestern, or 24, whatever. It's the day Ohio State loses. If they do lose, it's not gonna be today. Yeah. Give me Ohio State.
Fair enough. Texas Tech covers.
Yeah, Texas Tech covers.
Another one we can just kind of breeze past there.
Yeah.
Miami Pittsburgh. This has a lot of conference implications in this game.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think Miami gets the win here, and this isn't really a rivalry game. It's just kind of I feel like it's not really a rivalry game. This is just kind of a cap of their season.
Yeah.
But I think Miami gets the win probably. Just because despite what I saw from Pittsburgh last week, I saw how easily they let Georgia Tech claw back into it. So I'm not really convinced that even if they do get a lead on Miami, they can contain them and keep that lead.
Yeah, and I think they do start off with a lead against Miami, to be honest. Yeah. I think they hold a lead for probably up until halftime. I still think Miami covers, though.
Yeah, I think Miami comes from behind, wins by a touchdown, probably.
Yeah.
The Mormons cover, I guess.
Give me UCF.
Okay. You don't even believe that. You just hate BYU. You don't even believe that pick.
No, I don't, but give me UCF.
Hey, you know what? Fair enough, man.
This one is really tricky for me because I am a full believer of Washington as one of those teams where you just got to hope one of the two teams is going to hop on the bus or hop off the bus, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Washington is one of those teams that shows up and they're either really good or really bad.
Yeah.
And I think for this game, they're going to be overly prepared. And I think it goes down to the wire, especially since it's at Washington.
Yeah,
Uh,
electric environment there that they have in Seattle, dude. They
yeah,
had one of the longest home win streaks in the country
yeah,
at one point. But
and well, they don't have it anymore. But I
yeah,
think they know.
no, I know. Like they lost earlier this season and lost it, but
Yeah,
they did
yeah,
have a really long home streak.
yeah.
Good home environment.
But I think, mm, I think Oregon wins by a field goal.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that Oregon covers. This is another really heated rivalry. These teams absolutely hate each other.
Yeah.
But I do think Oregon probably gets the win here,
Mhm.
and this locks them up for the CFP.
Yeah.
If there was ever a doubt, I don't think there was, but yeah, this is definitely their game to clinch the CFP, and I think they do it.
Yeah.
Then you got it back to some more SEC action here: Oklahoma LSU,
Give me Oklahoma.
and Oklahoma wins and they cover.
No,
I
I think it's a close game, but I like Oklahoma.
I don't think
Yeah.
Oklahoma's going to lose by any
No.
means, but um, I think they cover just because I think LSU is still spiraling a little bit from just the season they've had as a whole.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, other than that, I don't really have much to say on it.
Yeah.
Garrett Myers a bum.
Mm-hmm.
Oklahoma wins,
Is
which
Garen
I don't
Nussmeier
even
even
think.
starting? Is
Yeah,
Garrett
he's
done?
not even starting anymore.
I was
So
gonna say, yeah. Is he even playing as quarterback in this game?
I'm pretty sure Van Buren's playing now.
Good.
But
He's a beast.
yeah, no,
Uh,
he's going to be good.
yeah.
But and then another
Give me
SEC
Vandy.
game here. This one I think is a little bit more fun than people are thinking because you've got Tennessee and Vandy here. Vandy's the best season they've had potentially ever, and you've got a 10-win season on the line going into Knoxville. You haven't beat Tennessee in years. Tennessee is kind of on a down year. Aguilar throws for a lot of yards, throws for a lot of touchdowns, also turns the ball over a lot. So it's kind of bit them in the rear a few times this season. Definitely costed them a game or two or three. But Tennessee's favored 2.5 at home. I I don't know that they get it done here. I'm a big believer in Diego Pavia because he's been in college for 17 years. Um, and I like Vandy. I like what they do. I've seen them compete with some of the best of the best. And I know they didn't come away with either of those two games, but it came down to the wire. It was a lot closer than people thought it was with Alabama. And they probably should have won that game against Texas. So honestly, I think Vandy probably gets the win.
Yeah. Before I give you my pick, I just want to let you know, Haynes King and Diego Pavia have been in
Yeah, I
college
know.
for the
I
same
know.
time. By
I
the
know.
way,
I know.
anyways, I think Vandy is gonna treat this game like their season's not done yet, because technically it's not. As unlikely as it is, they have a way better chance of getting to the playoffs than Tennessee. Tennessee is over.
Yeah.
Win or loss, it's over. For Vanderbilt on the other hand, they still have a chance, and I think they're gonna play like it, and I think they win.
Yeah. I don't think that's a bad take at all.
Uh, yeah. Yeah.
Gonna go ahead and bounce to the ACC here for a game. Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech's not having a great year. Did just make probably a really good hire at head coach with James Franklin. I think he's going to be a really good fit there.
Yeah.
But Virginia is having one of their best seasons in recent memory, and their spot in the ACC title game is on the line. With a loss, I'm pretty sure they're left out. Depends
Um,
on a few things, but we'll go over that. But
if
I
this
think they
game,
get it done.
I said multiple times before this game that I thought Virginia was gonna lose the rest of their games this season. They didn't. They did lose one out of the last three.
Yeah,
But I said that they were gonna lose this game too. If it was at Virginia Tech, I would pick Virginia Tech. But based on the season they're having and the season Virginia's having, and how explosive Virginia's offense is when they play teams like this, I think Virginia gets it done.
yeah. And I think I know which way you're leaning for this next game here. this is the other game that I was referencing when I said probably the top two rivalries in college football. The Iron Bowl. It's fun to watch every year. I mean, these teams. This is the South's version of the game, really.
Yeah.
It doesn't get more heated than this, and it's so funny because even when Auburn sucks, they'll still find a way to either push it to the brink or somehow come out with a win.
Auburn doesn't have their coach. They're 5-6. They might not even make a bowl game. The game is at Auburn. Jordan Hare is cursed. Auburn's every single loss this year for Auburn, but one to Georgia, which was a 10-point game that Auburn could have easily won, has been by a touchdown or less. I think if Auburn can put pressure on Ty Simpson, they 100% walk away with this game, and Auburn goes bowling, and Alabama's season is toast.
All I'm gonna say, there's a reason the ticket prices are still $379.
Give me Auburn.
Yeah, I figured this was gonna be your upset pick of the week. And honestly, for whatever reason, I think Auburn does find a way to get this game just because Jordan Hare has some voodoo magic in it, especially at night, especially against Alabama. I think Ty Simpson doesn't perform well under pressure.
Never performs well under pressure. Never has his whole entire season.
And look, Auburn's just trying to find a way to cap off the season. And,
This is a perfect way to do it.
Bowling. They hate Alabama more than anything. And it would be the most Auburn thing ever to ruin their season. And I think they do it. At the very least, I think they cover 5.5.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
But I think they get it done, honestly. I don't no reason in particular because they have probably one of the worst offenses I've ever seen. But they have a generational defense. And I think they get it done because I think they put a lot of pressure on Ty Simpson. He probably turns the ball over once at least, and they get the win.
Yeah. UCLA sucks.
Rivalry.
UCLA sucks. USC's favored by 21.5. They just had a big loss. UCLA covers, and I think it's a one-score game.
Yeah, I think you got another Pop-Tart Bowl team here, but I do think they get it done. 9-3 for USC. Not a bad season at all. Probably not what they were hoping, especially going into that game last week, but yeah, I think they get it done.
Yeah.
And Tulane is very lucky that their last game of the season is against 1-10 Charlotte.
Give me Charlotte. I'm kidding. I know Tulane's going to win. They're not. I just pray Tulane loses in the American Conference Championship game.
30.5 is an unbelievable spread for a group of 5 game.
And I don't think they cover. Give me Charlotte.
I don't think they cover that either. This isn't really a rivalry game, but it is important for the ACC, SMU, California. Yeah. I'm personally pulling for Cal for my own selfish reasons, but I do think SMU wins this game.
SMU is playing their best ball right now. They're actually a dangerous ACC team. I think they're going to win the ACC championship game, and it starts right now with beating California.
Yeah, I could definitely see it. Like I said, I'm pulling for California for my own selfish reasons, but I do think SMU wins this game.
Yeah.
And then your nightcap, Notre Dame, Stanford. This game would be way cooler if Stanford was good.
Yeah.
But they're not. And Notre Dame's favored by 32.5. And after that absolute ass whooping they put on Syracuse last week, give me Notre Dame and give me Notre Dame to cover.
Yeah. Notre Dame's going to cover. I mean, they might win by 50. Stanford sucks, and Notre Dame's playing their best ball right now. So,
yeah. I mean, Jeremiah Love is going to run all over Stanford. It's not going to be pretty.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Is there any other important ones we wanted to cover here that we didn't touch on? Memphis is up currently, if anyone was curious.
Yeah.
I'm not really seeing anything. Louisville, Kentucky. I think Louisville wins. Kentucky's bad.
Yeah.
Clemson, South Carolina, holy toilet bowl. But
It's a big game though for both of them.
yeah, I mean the Palmetto Bowl is normally a pretty big game for them. But
Give me Clemson.
yeah, I think Clemson probably gets the win here. Really disappointing season for both of those teams, but yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I'm just not really seeing anything that's super important. Believe it or not, this game is actually really important for the ACC, which
How?
doesn't. I'll show you. We'll get into it in a second, but this actually has bearing on the conference title standings. Tickets as low as $3, by the way. Florida State.
Give me Florida.
Yeah, I think Florida wins. These teams both suck. Though.
Hey, go up one over the. Yep. Give me
Give me JMU by a million.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me Florida. Washington State, Oregon State for the second time this year.
They've already played.
Yeah. Yeah, see, 1-0, 0-1 in Pac-12. They're the only two teams in Pac-12. They're playing a home and home in the same season.
Give me Washington State.
Yeah, let me get Washington State to get their get back at home. Yeah, I think that's pretty much going to do it. What a season, man. What a fun season.
Yeah.
Been all over the place for sure. We're really excited about the game tomorrow. But this is what I've been waiting to talk about the whole show. So the ACC Network posted this post 3 days ago, and it's because all of these teams are still in contention for the conference title game, which is unbelievable.
Yeah, considering this late in the season.
Yeah, so the first one is Virginia. They're in first place. All they have to do is win. They beat Virginia Tech, they're in the conference title game. Or if they lose, SMU has to lose, Pitt has to lose, and UNC has to win. I'm pretty sure Virginia gets it done, but
yeah,
either way. And then you got SMU. They're in second place right now.
Wow.
And this is another win and you're in, or they really need Pittsburgh to lose, Duke to lose. But see, this is where it gets stupid. So in these two scenarios, you need Virginia to win. And then you need Virginia to lose in this one. But that's if North Carolina wins. Now, if NC State beats whoever they're playing, I think Wake Forest.
NC State's playing North Carolina, dude. It's
yeah. Let me lock in here.
Goofball.
Is Duke playing Wake Forest? Is that who Duke's playing?
Yeah.
And then this is what I was talking about with Boston College and Syracuse. So,
what does Boston College have to do with anything on this?
Dude, I don't know. But it gets worse than this. Just wait. Here's Pitt's path. They need a win.
Pretty simple.
A win and a Virginia loss or an SMU loss, which I don't think either of those teams lose.
No.
But
I say Pitt's out.
Yeah, I would say Pitt's probably out. And assuming that Virginia and SMU both take care of business, all the rest of these scenarios don't matter.
Because all right, let's see that. Let's get to the Tech one.
Here's the Duke one. So Duke can still make it to the conference title as well.
Are they 5-6 or 6-5?
They're 6 and no. They're 7-4, I think.
No, they're not.
Do they have 5 losses? Really?
Yeah, they do. Because they lost to UConn.
Oh my god.
Not a conference loss, by the way, so that's why they're still in it.
And the craziest part of this is their scenario into the ACC title game is not that crazy. They need a win, a Pitt loss, which we both think is pretty much a guarantee.
Yeah.
And they need either an
California's got to work their magic.
Huh?
California's going to have to work their magic if they want that top one to happen.
Yeah, but, I mean, I think the Virginia Tech could potentially go either way just because it's a heated rivalry. That's the only one I'm kind of on the fence about. But
I think the
here
most
we
like
go to the
okay.
This is unbelievable. So
Are we gonna go through all of these?
no, I'm not gonna read all of this because it's just this is just absurd. But technically, they can still get in. And this is again what I'm talking about with Boston College and Syracuse. What does this have to do with whether they get in or not?
I don't know.
I don't I don't get that. And here's Tech's path to the ACC title. So they could realistically backdoor their way into this game. And based on what I'm seeing, they would get a rematch with Pitt in this top scenario here. So Pitt wins, Virginia loses, which I think both of these are possible. I don't think they're likely, but I think it could happen. And then an SMU loss, this is what I was talking about. I'm really pulling for Cal just because I think this top one is very possible. Not likely, but definitely possible.
No.
And then, if I'm not mistaken, with this scenario in the bottom, Tech would be playing Virginia. And
I think, from my opinion, the bottom scenario is the most likely to happen.
Really?
There's no way on God's green earth, and please, I pray I don't jinx them because I really want SMU to win. I don't think SMU and Virginia both lose. I think one of them could lose, but I don't think they both lose.
Okay, so you think the most likely scenario
It's the
is
third one.
the third one, where Virginia
Just
wins and
because
SMU loses.
it would be such a Cal thing to just screw around and beat SMU at home. So
It would, yeah. And like
and those other ones, Miami win is very likely. Duke lost. Wake Forest is 8-3, by the way. Not a lot of people
yeah,
talk
Wake
about that.
Forest is having a great season. I could actually see
Wake
them
Forest
winning.
is 8-3. That is very possible. Virginia win, that's most likely going to happen. NC State win, depending on what team
Both
gets
of
off the
those
bus.
teams aren't good.
Depending on what team gets off the bus, that's very likely. And BC win, God, you just gotta pray that they pull one out, man.
I mean, Boston College versus Syracuse. This is like
Bum versus bum.
Yeah,
Toilet
this is
versus trash.
the bottom of the ACC. But yeah, I think you're probably right with this bottom scenario being the most likely.
Yeah.
But there is a real path where Tech could backdoor their way into the ACC title and get their face kicked in by Georgia and still have a shot to make the CFP.
Or, none of this happens and SMU and Virginia just play.
I think that's the most likely scenario. But the fact that there's still 6 different teams in contention for a spot in the title game with one game to go is unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's crazy stuff. But I think this is the most hectic scenario by a long shot.
Yeah.
Because I mean, this
The
is
rest are pretty simple.
This is locked up.
Yeah.
This we just went over.
Wait, hold on. Go back up. Go back up. Who does North Texas play? They play Temple.
Yeah, I don't think they. Yeah, they play Temple.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty much locked up.
Technically not, because Navy wins and Tulane loses, which is not going to happen. But it's what. It'll probably be like North Texas. But
this is pretty much it right here. We just went over this absolute madhouse.
Yeah.
I can't even explain this, dude. This is unreal. This is, I would say, pretty much a lock. Neither one of them plays a great team this week, so I think that one's pretty much a guarantee.
Yeah.
This again,
lock.
Even if Ohio State loses, the conference title game would actually be Michigan versus Indiana. I think
it would,
but I don't think that's very likely. I don't think that happens. I think this is pretty much what you're going to see in the Big Ten title game.
Yeah.
And I'm still not quite sold on if they're going to be able to run with these guys, but we'll see. How about the Owls here? Conference USA, not really that important. Just wanted to mention
No, yeah, let's skip over this. This conference is boring.
it. All right.
So is that one. So is this one.
Yeah. Pac-12, we talked about it. They're going back at it this week. That's whatever. And then this one, you
Pretty
got
straightforward.
so basically A&M is winning in, and they'll play Georgia or they'll play Alabama actually if Alabama wins. So technically, right now, assuming the higher ranked team wins, the conference title in the SEC will be A&M versus Alabama. Alabama loses, it'll be A&M Georgia. A&M loses and Alabama loses, it's Georgia Ole Miss.
No,
I think.
it's Georgia A&M.
I forget how Ole Miss is able to get in here. I saw a post about it the other day, but they're still alive too. But they need 2 losses, and I think
the
it's
only no. Yeah, I think Ole Miss actually gets in if A&M and Bama lose.
yeah. And then obviously there's no way for any of these teams to get in still.
No.
But and then Georgia obviously doesn't move. They're done with conference play.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think your conference title game is probably going to be A&M versus Georgia because I think Auburn's going to win the Iron Bowl.
Yeah.
But I mean, I could also very well see A&M Alabama, and I could also really, really see Georgia Alabama.
No.
Yeah, so that's the other one.
No.
If A&M loses and everybody else wins, it's Georgia Alabama.
Yeah, so let's not do that, A&M, please. Yeah, go James Madison. They're winning the Sun Belt. Even though I'm pretty sure they're not going to get in the playoffs, but it's whatever.
They should. They really should. But I just want to say though, I think if you're a Georgia Bulldog fan this weekend, you're pulling for A&M and you're pulling for Alabama because I don't think you want to play in the conference title game. There's no reason to. I mean,
no, I'm pulling for Auburn and A&M. I would love
to play A&M.
I would love to play in a conference championship game, to be honest.
Why? Because they seem to be. I mean, they don't really punish you for playing.
They don't, but I feel like Kirby has made Georgia to one of those teams that, like, when you think of an SEC championship, you think of Georgia now. Considering he's only missed it 2 times in his whole career as a coach, as a head coach.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like it would be such a weird thing without.
It would be. It would be weird to not see him in it for sure.
So I would love to see Georgia in the conference championship game. Then I think we would beat A&M. I think Kirby would have us ready because the only time we've ever lost a conference championship game was to Bama, and that was multiple times. But and LSU. What am I talking about? 2019 LSU, but nobody was beating that team anyways.
Yeah,
so
no one was beating them. But dude, honestly, I think you're right. I think Georgia plays A&M. I do think Georgia wins. They are rolling right now, dude. They are playing some really, really good ball. They look great.
Yeah.
And I think if you end up with that matchup, I think Georgia is your SEC champion.
Mm-hmm.
Do you really want a bye week though?
Yes. Why would you not?
If I'm not mistaken,
that's one less game you have to play.
If I'm not mistaken, every single team that got a bye week in the playoffs last year all lost.
Okay, that's great. The teams who got a bye last year, let me just break this down for you. Boise State got a bye last year.
Yeah.
Arizona State got a bye last year.
Yeah.
No. And the other 2 teams just happen to be Georgia. I mean, Georgia, it happens, man. Like, we didn't have our starting quarterback. That's not why we lost. And Ohio State was playing the best football I've seen since 2019 LSU. So,
yeah, nobody was, dude. When Ohio State, when I saw them put it on Tennessee like that, chalk it up, bro.
Yeah.
No one was beating them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, I don't know. I'd be really interested to see who gets the bye weeks this year and if they all lose again. That'd be really interesting because
Yeah.
I almost think the bye week. I almost think you don't want the bye week because the teams that don't play in the bye, they get an extra game to get ready for whoever's sitting there after the bye. Does it make sense? Like you got to think about this. The teams that get the bye, if they won their conference title game, which they have to get the bye, they haven't played a game in almost a month by then.
What does that have to do with it? It used to be like that all the time with the 14 playoff.
I don't know. I just think it's really, really interesting that every team that got a bye last year lost. So
That was just dumb luck.
and I think
You
personally,
had Boise and Arizona State with a bye.
personally, I think Georgia plays better not coming off a bye. I think they play better when they play back to back to back.
Okay.
I mean,
What's your info based on that, pal?
it wasn't exactly a clean game against Florida.
That was when we were playing 1/2 ball.
Okay, but average excuse right there, dude. I mean, I feel like they never play that well coming off a bye. I don't know.
Well, most of the time, coming off a bye, we play Florida, and the Florida game is never a blowout. Besides when we had that great
bye
team in
right here.
2017. Okay, that's Alabama, so that does not count.
Your last 3 bye weeks, you have a 4-point game against Florida, which is it's Georgia Florida. That game gets heated. It gets exciting.
Alabama doesn't count because they always beat us.
You
And
played
Notre Dame,
Alabama and you lost. And you
Notre
played
Dame,
Notre Dame and you lost.
we got outcoached. That's the only problem with the Notre Dame game. We got outcoached, and Gunnar Stockton was not physically ready.
I don't know, man. I don't know. But I am excited for tomorrow. I'm excited for this whole weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Best weekend in college football.
Yep.
But I think that's pretty much gonna wrap it up for us here. Unless you got anything you want to add.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Go Jackets.
Good dogs.
And make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Appreciate y'all listening in. Thankful for y'all. Happy Thanksgiving once again. But this is going to do it for our last regular season episode of Beyond the Scoreboard. Thank you for watching.